Chiefs Kingdom, take a deep breath, sit down right now, because information has just leaked that is making the ground shake over at One Arrowhead Drive. And it's not because of the crowd noise. We are used to Tuesday news. Usually it's so-and-so rested. This guy practiced limited. But today the story is different. Today, the story smells like blood in the water. It has just been confirmed that the Kansas City Chiefs brought in no fewer than 8 players for immediate tryouts at the club's facilities. 8. It's not 1, it's not 2, to fill out the practice squad. It is an entire battalion of potential reinforcements. And you know, I know, and the locker room knows, Brett Veach doesn't bring 8 guys for a stroll in Kansas City if he is happy with what he is seeing on the field. One of these 8 names can, and very likely will, send a starter to the bench, or worse, to the unemployment line as early as next week. Are we talking about a house cleaning in the middle of the season? Are we talking about an admission of guilt at some key position? Who is the target? Who is the internal villain the front office is desperately trying to replace before the three-peat window closes? If you have a favorite player who has been playing average lately, start praying. Because today's tryout list attacks the team's most exposed weaknesses directly. Stay with me until the end. We will reveal the positions, analyze the brutal message Andy Reid is sending to the roster, and find out which star has a rope around their neck. The guillotine has been assembled. Let's see who loses their head. To understand the weight of this news, we need to understand how the NFL works. In a normal week, a team brings in 1 or 2 guys. A kicker if the starter got hurt, an emergency long snapper, bringing in 8 players at once, in varied positions, offensive line, receivers, defensive backs, is not routine. It is an intervention. It is the equivalent of Brett Veach walking into the locker room with a megaphone and screaming, "No one here is safe." The context is clear. Despite the wins, or the recent struggle, the game tape doesn't lie. We have seen missed blocks on the offensive line that almost cost Mahomes his knees. We have seen unacceptable drops from receivers who are supposed to be reliable. We have seen coverage breakdowns in crucial moments. This week's Workout Tuesday wasn't to fill the scout team. It was to find immediate solutions. Veach is famous for having no patience. He has cut players mid-season before. He traded for Kadarius Toney and Mecole Hardman in the middle of the crossfire. The hidden message here is for the starter who is comfortable. That veteran who thinks that just because he has a Super Bowl ring, his job is for life. The front office just said, "We have 8 guys out there, hungry, willing to play for minimum wage, who want your spot. Prove you deserve to stay." Here is the conflict that defines the season and is setting the kingdom on fire. On one side, we have loyalty and chemistry. Chiefs Kingdom loves its players. We get attached. Oh, but he was in Super Bowl LVK. He is our brother. Andy Reid is known for being a player's coach, a coach who gives second, third chances. On the other side, we have the cold reality of business. The reality is that the NFL is a "what have you done for me today" league. And today, some units are bleeding. The conflict is between maintaining group cohesion or injecting new, unknown blood to save technical execution. The danger-threatening dynasty mode is stagnation. If you keep a left tackle who commits 3 penalties a game just because he is the guy who is there, you lose games in January. If you keep a WR who can't get separation, Mahomes starts forcing passes and throwing interceptions. Brett Veach chose a side in the conflict. He chose controlled chaos. Bringing in 8 reinforcements is creating a shock tank. He wants to see who survives the pressure. The starter who practices poorly tomorrow, knowing there is a new guy in the building. That guy has already lost his spot. This move puts direct pressure on coordinators Matt Nagy and Steve Spagnuolo. Make it work with who is here, or I will bring new people for you to coach. You felt it. I felt it. In the last few games, watching our execution on certain plays. It's like trying to drive a Ferrari, which is Patrick Mahomes, on a dirt road full of potholes, using bald tires. The engine is perfect, the driver is a genius, but if the tire blows, the line fails, or the receiver drops it, the Ferrari hits the wall. Keeping a starter who is playing poorly, just out of fear of change, is like having a gas leak in the kitchen and deciding not to call the fire department because you don't want to get the floor dirty with boots. The house is going to explode. Brett Veach smelled the gas, and these 8 players are the emergency crew breaking down the door. The fans' feeling right now is a mix of relief and panic. Relief because the front office isn't sleeping at the wheel. Panic because if we need 8 new guys in week X, it's because the hole is deeper than we thought. It's like changing the plane's engine while it's flying at 30,000 feet. Is it dangerous? Yes. But if the current engine is on fire, you have no choice. You might be betting, oh, they must all be receivers because our WRs are lacking. But wait, that is just the tip of the iceberg. The list isn't just WRs, and that is what is scary. There is a specific position on this list of 8 players that made NFL insiders raise an eyebrow, a position we thought was solved, or at least acceptable. The fact that Veach is testing players for this specific position means they know something about the health or performance of a key starter that we don't know. Could it be a hidden injury requiring surgery? Or could it be that patience with a certain big man has run out? But hold on, because the most impactful name on the list isn't who you think. Let's dissect what these 8 reinforcements represent. Although the exact names may vary, as the full official list comes out at the end of the day, the composition of the workouts leaks fast, and it points to 3 open wounds. First, the offensive trench, the protection factor. Strong rumors indicate the presence of veteran offensive linemen. This puts a giant target on the backs of our tackles. Wanya Morris, Jawan Taylor, Kingsley Suamataia. If Veach is bringing big men to run around cones on a Tuesday, it's because he saw Mahomes getting hit too much. The front office might be looking for a veteran stopgap to stabilize the blind side. If one of these guys signs, expect to see a change in the left tackle starter very soon. Second, the receiving core, the Butterfingers factor. There are always WRs in these workouts, but the quantity suggests that confidence in the roster's depth, Skyway Moore, Watson, even Hardman, is shaken. They are looking for someone with safe hands. They don't need a Tyreek Hill. They need someone who makes the third down catch. The threatened starter here is the WR4 or WR5 who doesn't contribute on special teams. Third, the secondary, the depth factor. With recent injuries, the secondary needs bodies. But bringing in DBs now is also a warning to the young guys. If you don't make the tackle on special teams, we will bring someone who will. However, there is a detail that changes everything about these tryouts. It isn't just about signing for the practice squad. There is a vesting veteran rule and contract deadlines approaching. If the Chiefs sign a veteran now, it is to play now. They don't have time to develop anyone. This means whoever arrives to suit up on Sunday. And for someone to suit up, someone has to be cut or deactivated. And what no one saw was the connection of one of these tested players to Andy Reid's past. We have reached the revelation. Who is the starter who might lose his job? Looking at the aggressive movement of 8 players, all arrows point to a structural change in the offensive line or kick return. If the Chiefs sign a veteran offensive tackle, as has been speculated in insider forums, this is a vote of no confidence in the development of Kingsley Suamataia or the consistency of Wanya Morris. The left tackle starter position is the blind side protector of the $500 million. Veach doesn't play around with that. If the signing is a WIR returner, the head that rolls might be that of a veteran who has had trouble with fumbles or bad decisions on returns. The bomb is that this movement of 8 players creates an environment of necessary toxic competitiveness. Andy Reid wants to see who breaks and who toughens up. There is a real chance, and I say real, that tomorrow morning we wake up to the notification, Chiefs release Player X and sign Reinforcement Y. And that Player X might be someone the fans know by name. The front office is saying, the 53-man roster is not final. The Super Bowl is won with the best 53, not the first 53 who arrived. And what no one saw was in the cap space. The Chiefs have made small, silent restructures in the last few days. They have the money to pay a veteran above the minimum. They aren't bringing these 8 guys to pay crumbs. They are buying a solution. Chiefs Kingdom. The message has been delivered. The training center door is revolving fast. 8 enter. Maybe 1 or 2 stay. But the impact will be felt by all 53. Complacency died today in Kansas City. Now, I put the responsibility in your lap, fan. You are the armchair GM. I want to know your brutal opinion in the comments. Which Chiefs starter today deserves to go to the bench or be cut to make room for one of these reinforcements? Say the name. Do you think the problem is the left tackle, the receivers, or the secondary? Where should Brett Veach use his scalpel? Is this move the reality check the team needed, or is it a sign of desperation from the front office? Don't shy away from the answer. The kingdom needs to know who the fans would fire. Yeah, smash that like button if you trust Brett Veach to find gold among these 8 names, like he always does. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, because as soon as the signing is official and the cut is announced, we will be here to analyze if it was the right decision. The practice is over. Natural selection has begun.